Most people think of livestock income as a one-time payday. You raise the animal, you butcher it, and once a year you get that big check. But for small farms and homesteads trying to stay afloat, that model just doesn't work for everyone. The reality is simple. Bills don't wait until butcher day. That's why so many farmers are shifting to animals that earn revenue every single month, whether through eggs, milk, fiber, or breeding stock sales. We are diving into the top 5 animals that can bring in cash flow. Whether you're looking to add an income stream or choose the right animals from the start, this list focuses on species that are practical, profitable, and proven on small farms. Ducks, the overlooked egg machines. When it comes to eggs, chickens usually steal the spotlight. But in reality, ducks can outperform them in both production and profit. Breeds like Indian runners, khaki Campbells, and Welsh Harlequins are incredible layers, often producing 250 to 300 eggs per year per duck. Compare that to the average backyard chicken, which typically produces around 180 to 220 eggs annually, and you start to see why many farms are leaning into ducks. But production is only half the story. Duck eggs are considered a premium product by chefs, bakers, and allergy-sensitive consumers. On direct-to-consumer platforms and at farm markets, duck eggs regularly sell for $6 to $10 per dozen. Take a small farm with just 25 laying ducks. At an average of 275 eggs per duck per year, that's nearly 6,800 eggs annually. Selling at even $7 per dozen, that comes out to about $4,000 in yearly revenue. From a flock small enough to manage in a backyard setup. Real-world example, a farm in Tennessee started with just 6 khaki Campbells, selling duck eggs to local bakers at $7 a dozen. Demand grew so fast that within 2 years they'd scaled to 40 ducks and were making over $1,000 per month from eggs alone. Better yet, ducks tend to require less feed than chickens. Simple shelter, a small pond or kiddie pool, and access to forage. For small farms trying to build steady, reliable revenue, ducks are one of the easiest and most profitable starting points, and they continue to outperform expectations when scaled properly. Section 2. Geese, seasonal, high-ticket sales you can schedule. Geese don't pay the way ducks or chickens do, and that's exactly why they work for some farms. They're not daily layers, but when they produce, the items are premium. A typical goose will lay 30 to 50 eggs per season, with lighter breeds like Chinese or Roman sometimes pushing toward the upper end and heavy breeds sitting lower. The eggs aren't cheap, particularly for special breeds. In most local markets, you'll see $3 to $5 per egg, and they move because bakers want the color and structure. Some farms go a step further and blow the shells, selling them as clean decorative eggs at $8 to $15 each. Those often sell out around holidays and at craft fairs. That means a single bird can bring $150 to $250 from eggs alone in a short window. The bigger revenue, though, is goslings and breeding stock. Hatching eggs from solid, recognized lines commonly sell at $8 to $15 each. But many customers would rather skip the incubator and buy live goslings. That's where small producers do well. Standard goslings routinely sell at $20 to $40 a piece. A pair that throws 3 clutches with 4 to 6 saleable goslings per clutch can bring in $400 to $800 in a season without scaling past a backyard setup. Because geese are seasonal, the way you turn them into steady income is with timing. Most flocks start laying late winter into spring. If you candle, collect on a schedule, and use a reliable incubator, you can stagger sets every 2 weeks and have goslings ready to sell every month from, say, March through July. That creates a clear recurring release calendar your customers can plan around. Next goslings available the first Saturday of each month. A quick note on inputs. Part of why the margins hold is that geese are efficient grazers. They still need good water, minerals, and protection, but they can carry themselves on pasture for much of the season. Think of geese as your scheduled high-ticket drops that pair with year-round earners like ducks, quail, or dairy. Just don't oversell what they are. Geese won't give you a dozen eggs a week. What they will give you is a handful of premium eggs that command a real price. Next up, goats. How small herds turn milk into weekly cash flow with a simple product mix and staggered breedings. If you want a steady, predictable stream of income every single week, goats are one of the most reliable ways to get there. A standard dairy doe, such as a Nubian, Alpine, or Nigerian dwarf, will give anywhere from half a gallon to a gallon of milk per day at peak production. That's 3 7-gallons a week per goat. At small farm direct prices, raw milk typically sells for $8, $12 per gallon in most U.S. markets. Even if you have just 3 producing does and sell at $9 a gallon, you're looking at over $100. $150 in weekly milk sales. But milk alone is rarely the endgame. High-margin goat products take that raw output and turn it into something customers will pay more for. Goat cheese. Fresh cheddar can sell for $18, $22 per pound and requires minimal aging or infrastructure. Goat milk soap. Even small batch soaps command $5, $8 per bar, with repeat buyers becoming loyal fast. Yogurt and kefir. High demand among health-conscious customers, often selling for double the price per ounce compared to cow's milk products. By splitting your milk into 2 or 3 different products, a single goat producing 6 gallons a week can easily translate into $80, $120 in value per week, per animal. The real trick to making this income year-round is staggered breeding. Goats naturally want to breed in the fall and kid in the spring, which means many farms end up with milk only half the year. But by maintaining 2 small breeding groups and offsetting their kidding schedules, you can ensure that at least half your herd is in milk at any given time. And here's where some farms layer in additional revenue. Breeding stock sales. Well-bred dairy breed dolings regularly sell for $150, $300, while proven dairy does with high production lines can command even more. Next up, sheep. Why fiber, milk, and lamb sales combined make them one of the most flexible earners on small farms. Sheep might not get as much attention as goats, but on small farms, they quietly outperform in versatility. While many people think sheep equals sign meat, the reality is that well-chosen breeds can produce 3 simultaneous revenue streams: fiber, milk, and breeding stock. And some farms pull in $50, $150 per ewe per month when managed strategically. Heritage and specialty wool breeds are making a comeback thanks to the growing demand for natural, sustainable textiles. Fine wool breeds like Merino, Cormo, and blue-faced Leicester often sell fleece for $20, $40 per pound. A single adult ewe can produce 6-10 pounds of raw wool annually, which means a small flock of 10 could generate $1,500, $3,000 per year from fleece alone if you can find a buyer who wants high-quality wool. There's a huge difference between low and high quality, so do your research here before you dive in. Some farms have gone further and processed their own yarn, multiplying their margins. A $25 fleece can become $150 worth of hand-dyed skeins. While goat milk dominates the homestead scene, sheep milk is quietly booming in specialty markets. Breeds like East Friesians and Lacans produce 1.52 quarts per day. And while that's less volume than goats, sheep milk's higher butterfat makes it extremely profitable. It's the base for premium cheeses like Roquefort, Pecorino, and Manchego, which regularly retail at $25, $35 per pound. Even at small scales, local markets and farmstead creameries are seeing repeat demand for sheep milk products. A single ewe producing 400 quarts per season at $10 a quart can easily generate $4,000 in annual milk income from just one animal. For farmers in the U.S., demand for lamb meat and breeding stock is growing. Direct-to-consumer lamb sales often bring in $8, $12 per pound. High-demand breeding rams, particularly from dairy and fiber-focused lines, can sell for $500, $1,200 each. Sheep don't need high-end infrastructure, and rotational grazing systems mean they can be integrated into mixed animal setups with minimal feed costs. Next up, rabbits. Why they're one of the lowest overhead, fastest turnover animals you can add for recurring income every single month. Rabbits are one of the most underrated income-generating animals on small farms. Their low housing requirements, fast reproduction cycle, and high market demand make them an efficient option for consistent monthly income when managed strategically. Rabbits reach processing weight in just 8-12 weeks, which makes them one of the fastest turnover livestock options available. A single breeding trio, 1 buck 2 does, can produce 40-50 fryers a year, with direct-to-consumer rabbit meat selling between $7-12 per pound in many U.S. markets. A small-scale setup can bring in $3,000, $5,000 annually from just 2 does. Because rabbits are classified differently from poultry and livestock in many states, regulations are often more lenient, making direct farm sales easier compared to other meats. Breeding pedigreed rabbits, especially popular lines like New Zealand Whites, Californians, and Rex, often brings higher margins than meat sales. Well-bred, healthy rabbits from reputable lines frequently sell for $50, $150 each, with show-quality rabbits fetching $200 plus. While meat breeds dominate, specialty fiber rabbits like Angoras produce highly valuable wool. Hand spinners often pay $6, $12 per ounce for clean brushed Angora fiber. A single Angora can produce 10-12 ounces every 90 days, translating into $300 plus per rabbit annually from fiber alone. When combined with breeding stock and meat sales, Angoras offer triple income potential. Rabbits require less space, less feed, and less upfront investment than nearly any other animal on this list, which makes them a strong choice for farms seeking monthly, recurring revenue without large infrastructure costs. Next up, stacking your animal income. How small farms combine ducks, sheep, goats, rabbits, and more into multi-layered year-round revenue systems. Here's where successful small farms stand out. They don't rely on one animal or one product. Instead, they stack multiple income streams across different species to create steady, predictable monthly revenue, even when one market slows down. The goal isn't just to raise animals, it's to diversify outputs so your farm earns consistently. For example, ducks equal eggs plus breeding stock plus meat during peak demand. Goats equal milk plus kids plus value-added dairy. Sheep equal fiber plus lamb plus premium registered breeding lines. Rabbits equal meat plus breeding stock plus fiber from Angoras. By combining these layers, farms smooth out the boom or bust cycles of relying only on butcher time income. Real-world example. Take a 5-acre farm in Ohio, 40 ducks producing roughly 18 dozen eggs weekly, sold at $7 per dozen equals $500/month. 6 dairy goats yield enough milk to make small batch cheeses, earning another $700/month. 25 meat rabbits bring in about $300/month from fryers and occasional breeding stock sales. That's $500 plus per month before factoring in sheep fiber sales or seasonal surplus. With direct-to-consumer sales becoming more accessible, small farms now bypass traditional middlemen. In the US, platforms like the Red Hen app make it easier for farmers to connect directly with local buyers looking for fresh eggs, pasture-raised meats, and specialty fibers. This multi-stream strategy is what separates struggling homesteads from thriving small farms. And it's how more farmers are carving out real, sustainable income from fewer acres. We've just explored 5 animal systems that can help farms and homesteads build reliable, repeatable monthly income, not just one-time payouts at butcher time. Ducks, goats, sheep, rabbits, and geese all offer opportunities to layer revenue through eggs, milk, fiber, breeding stock, and direct sales. The key takeaway here is this: small, diversified strategies create stability. It's not about scaling bigger, it's about being smarter with every animal on your land. If you're in the US and looking to sell directly to local customers, the Red Hen app connects small farms with buyers searching for pasture-raised products nearby. It's helping thousands of farms move more products and keep more of their earnings. Something worth checking out if you want to boost your farm's bottom line. As always, check the rates in your area of products and make sure you have a financial plan before acquiring livestock. Finally, if this video gave you ideas for increasing your farm's revenue, hit subscribe, give it a like, and drop a comment below sharing what you'd like us to cover next. The more we learn together, the stronger and more sustainable our farms become.